Rock I-92 is WIDL 92.1 FM, Cass City. Classic rock for the thumb. It's time for the only Saturday morning sports talk show in the thumb. It's Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Air Advantage, providing rural communities with client-focused internet communications and technology solutions with integrity and pride. With Scott Bowlesby.
Whoa, I don't play defense.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Chris Wilcox.
There's no flying in baseball.
We got uniforms and everything. It's really great.
And the Chief, Christian Zalick.
It's in the hole.
And good Saturday morning. Welcome on in and welcome on back to Let's Talk Sports right here on Classic Rock I-92. Back in the saddle once again one more time, at least during the winter sports season. Scott Bowlesby, it's no longer winter though. To my right in front of me, to your left on the camera, or to your right on this camera, whatever camera we're on right now, it is Christian Zalick and Chris Wilcox. Gentlemen, it's we're finally back here.
We're finally back, absolutely.
Love it.
And there is crying in baseball if you're not making $430 million.
Yeah, no kidding. It sort of makes Verlander's extension that he's going to sign look paltry.
Yeah, it does.
2 year 66.
Our computer froze up on me here.
Uh-oh.
No, our program that records our show. There we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. And then not too long after that, Blake Snell gets signed to a 5-year, $50 million. I feel like they got a deal on him.
Got a great deal.
With that kind of money for Trout, I'm almost thinking about switching my man crush from Tom Brady to Mike Trout.
He'd probably be able to support you a little bit better. I mean, when it comes down to it.
Yeah, because if Tom leaves Giselle, he won't have as much money anymore because Giselle makes all the money.
Dave Lester, are you listening in, Dave? I don't know if he's listening, but he's listening, or he is on his way to Orlando, Florida. He's an hour away. He said he's home for the week.
He's home for the week.
He's an hour away from here or an hour away from Orlando?
Hour away from Orlando. Hour away from their home for the week, Orlando. So,
Speaking of Dave, a few years ago, I was in Florida for spring break, and I'm at a Tiger game in Joker Marchant. And I'm walking on the concourse, and I look, and Dave Lester's passing me right there.
Not very often you see that down there?
No, not at all.
yeah, it's weird. You run into people in different states or different parts of Michigan, especially the different state part. But yeah, I mean, everybody heading off on spring break right now, and we're here. But you know, it is. I got asked the other day from one of the girls from Kingston, "What are you doing for spring break?" Working.
Working.
I don't really get a spring break.
I'm going to Muskegon on Monday night.
I leave Wednesday. I'm flying.
Oh, that's right. You're going
flying.
somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's in Muskegon?
Boo.
Sorry.
What's in Muskegon?
Lucas is playing over there.
Oh,
on
nice.
Monday.
Hey,
Awesome.
good. How do you do in his first appearance?
1 for 3.
Good.
Yeah, so we'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. At least you got a 1 in there, not a 0 for 3.
That's right.
That's something at least.
Yes, it is.
But we are here, and we're going to be wrapping up the winter sports season. A lot has happened. Let's see if we can remember it all, and feel free to hit us up on Twitter or Facebook or message or call or whatever, and let us know what we did forget, if we did forget something. But going on right now, actually in the background here,
And we are minutes
you can
away
hear it.
from our Division 4
Adrian Lenawee
championship
Christian,
game
St. Ignace,
here
the game.
between
Well, we could have been calling if St. Ignace wasn't in the way. Stupid Saints.
Saints.
But we would have been at this
Dang
game.
UP teams.
Yeah, right. This is the D4 state finals going on right now. So we're going to have it up in the background. We'll probably check in sporadically on it, come back from commercials, listening on it, and see how that game is going. Get an eye on that to see how the score is going in that one. Because I know there's still some interest to see how St. Ignace does because, well, if St. Ignace wins, you know, that's definitely even more of a pat on the back to the Kingston Cardinals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely so.
I know we talked about this beforehand. Scotty and Lenawee Christian does only carry 10 kids on their roster. That's it. Yeah. And the way they were rotating them in from St. Ignace, full line hockey style, I don't know. It should be a great game, though. Should be a great game.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be a fun one, and interested to see how St. Ignace does, and see if Kingston kind of grinded him down just a little bit for Adrian Lenawee Christian here, because that was a grind of a game the other night for both squads, and we'll jump to that game right out of the gate here, because that was our latest game that we did. We did a quarterfinal game, which Kingston got over that hump of the quarterfinal, was able to make it to a state semi, and this is the third thumb team.
Yes, third girls thumb
Girls team, yes.
Yes,
Yes, to make it.
Peck, which won. Sandusky back in 99.
Yep.
And then now Kingston this year.
In 99, they got defeated by St. Ignace.
Yes,
So,
and that's if you don't include Frankenmuth's 6 trips.
yeah, there you go. Yes. So just a couple of them in there for Frankenmuth, as they've had some pretty good teams in the past years. But 48-44 victory for St. Ignace, stopping the Kingston Cardinal bus. And, but a heck of a ride for Kingston. I mean, these seniors, not even just this year, but the past 4 years. Yes. Some of these kids have been playing since they were freshmen. We've got to know them. They've come in here a couple of times, talked to us, got to create kind of a personal bond with them and get to know them a little bit more. But just a great job all around by Kingston, the community. Man, they poured out. They filled up all of the one side at Burton Bendel, plus some of the other side. They were out cheering easily St. Ignace the other night. They traveled well, and you can't ask for anything more than that from your community. Now, I haven't heard of any break-ins that happened in Kingston while everyone was gone. Right. Any looting going on? Some streaking down M46.
It's not Michigan State.
It's not East Lansing. But no, I mean it's just cool to see the entire community out there supporting them, and I know the girls definitely appreciate it. And even when we left the media area, we came out and the concourse was just filled with Kingston people still. I'm like trying to guide my way through the sea of red,
which is special because I think, Chris, you asked the girls a couple times when they were in here this year if they got more attention than the boys, and the boys, they said no, the boys still get more attention than us. So that's good to see everyone travel like that. And I know Coach Lester was a huge fan of that girls program as well, so he probably got everyone aboard.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the parents of the players really surrounded them, and they got a great send off. The day of the semifinal game, and they really got treated like queens.
Yes.
They really did.
And they deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely.
like queens, Dave and Jay.
There you
especially.
go. Yeah.
No, I mean
those are the jesters. Hold on a second.
The jokers on the side. But no, I mean,
did you just call Lester and Green a queen?
Yeah. Well, Dave Green and Jay Green. Lester, no, he's listening. Shh. But I mean, they even said that they felt like rock stars when they left the elementary school because the kids were out lining the sidewalk, ready to.
Awesome.
It was a really cool experience. But
did they close school for the day?
They did.
They ended up early dismissal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Early dismissal.
Yeah. So they were able to. People wanted to head over. They were able to head over and. They sure headed over. I think the entire community of Kingston was there, if not at least half.
Definitely.
What's the population, 4 or something?
Yeah, it's not very big.
So I mean, they had half of it at least over there in the stands.
Well, as soon as the doors opened up, I mean, it was just a sea. It was a blackout, and it was a sea of black and a little bit of red flowing on in, and. Like, oh my goodness, did St. Ignace even bring anybody? And then all of a sudden, it kind of started sprinkling in a little bit. But at a venue like that, I mean, Calvin College is kudos to them. I mean, beautiful setup.
Yeah.
Scotty and I were pretty much right at mid-court. Just an absolutely awesome setup down there, and the atmosphere was absolutely electric, especially with the last minute and a half of the game.
Yeah. I mean, it was a cool. Christian was asking me how it was, and I said, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Looking at the pictures, I was like, the gym looks pretty decent size. The only thing I had a problem with, and I'm nitpicking here, was the screen up on the board. It was pixelated. It looked like it was made in like the 80s. It was just like, let me just say, you want to pour some money into something, make it a great place to go.
Outside of the screen in the middle.
Yes.
The scoreboard in the middle, sort of like what Bendel has.
Yeah.
Is it nicer than Sandusky or worse?
Gym wise?
Yeah.
Like, if you were asking me, I'm gonna say it's worse.
Yeah.
But you talking about Bendel's gym?
No. Van Noord.
For D3 college, nice. I mean, it's a D3 college, right? I mean, it's a nice gym.
Sandusky could match it if they put bleachers on the other side.
Really? Okay.
Sandusky could match it absolutely if they put bleachers on the other side.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I mean,
Sandusky's sort of set up in that round type atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's bigger, that's for sure. The concourse is really nice. I mean, there was multiple stairs to take. I was kind of I was like, okay, do I go this way? Which way do I go? And they're like, oh, just go down those stairs. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was trying to find the media room, and she's like, no, just go down those stairs. I'm like, I know. I was just looking to see where everything was. I'm sorry. I'm taking it all in right now. I'm just soaking it in because I don't, it's fun to be here. We've never been able to do this yet. So it was really cool to be there. And, it was a great experience, even for us. It was a fun ride and being on the sidelines there. And, I'm glad we were able to go along for the ride, and they were able to finally get over that quarterfinal hump, and I know that was a victory within itself. And even when I went out into the concourse, you would have thought Kingston had won. I was getting high fives from some of the parents and some of the community out there saying, heck of a game, great game. And I'm like, you wouldn't have known that they had just lost the semifinal game. They were still so proud of what they've been able to do. So not many teams been able to do it from the Thumb area, and Jay even said that in the press conference afterwards that it's hard for a Thumb team to get that far.
Well, I mean, he let's be honest, he beat around the bush a little bit, right? I mean, just the way the presser went, and I kind of figured where he was going with it, but it's the truth. I mean, it's very, very tough for the Thumb teams to come out even to make a run like that.
Or just in a rural area community.
Yes.
We're not a small school in a 71,000 town.
Right.
It just it is very tough.
Not a private school, which I'm not going to get in that whole argument. That'll just open up another can of worms for people to pour on in. But yeah, it is difficult for a lot of the teams in the Thumb. They start getting that roll. They start getting that run going, and they run into one of these. Like you said, one of these small schools from a big community where you can kind of pick and choose who you want to play on your squad in a way. But they get over that the adversity there, and it's kind of the same way USA boys were able to do it last year. USA's got a little bit more success in the background of as far as their basketball program goes. But
let's be honest too. I mean, Kramer even stated. Maybe it wasn't Kramer. It was Muxlow, Doug Muxlow, I believe, is the one that even stated it. Let's be honest. I mean, the Thumb's pretty much another peninsula.
Oh, yes,
I mean, when you look at it farly, I mean, it's just another peninsula,
it is.
And a lot of people just are like, okay, yeah, the what? I mean, when I travel for business, I'm like, yeah, I'm from the Thumb. They're like, where's that from? I'm like, the Thumb of Michigan?
Yeah.
Like, where we live? Like, you got to hold up the thumb. You're
we're just like Michigan.
They're like, from Saginaw? I'm like, yeah, close enough, whatever, But yeah, no, it is. I mean, and it was a great representation. I mean, it was actually nice to see. I was hoping it would have been in a final game, but you get a UP team and a Thumb team there together. I mean, that would have been pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw people from other communities as well
yes,
coming out.
Absolutely.
We saw some Deckerville. We saw a friend of Larry Smith out there.
Deckerville was out. There were some Frankenmuth people there. There was
Bouvet from Akron Fairgrove was there at the quarterfinal game. So you saw people coming out from all different areas of the Thumb area, and even on Twitter. I mean, Teresa Rose was at the very end of the game. She was like, "Come on, Kingston, let's get this," and it was like, man, it's just really cool to see. And Lenny Dantine was the same way. He was tweeting and retweeting stuff and liking it, and it was just really cool. To see all the support.
Well, I think and I think this goes with any team around the Thumb area, and we've seen this for a long, long time. And when that one team makes that run, everybody from the Thumb pours behind them.
Yeah.
And that's something special you don't see in a lot of other areas, and especially you head to the Lansing or Detroit area, they care less. Okay, whatever.
You think High cheers on Arthur Hill or vice versa?
Yeah, right.
One doesn't make it or the other.
No. Yeah.
But you see rivals, you see
absolutely.
Sandusky liking stuff, Marlette liking stuff of the other team. It's kind of all thrown to the side. But nonetheless, it was a great run and a great game. But again, 48-44 was the victory for St. Ignace.
I mean, St. Ignace had a 12-point lead at one point in time, and
then 11 going into the fourth, correct?
Yes,
yeah. And then Kingston put on that full court pressure, and
they started kind of a half court pressure. They started putting on them and applying that half court and the half court traps and everything, and really disrupted St. Ignace. And I mean, just with under a minute 20 left, it was 46-41. And McGuire goes down and nails a big three, pulls it in 46-44 with just under a minute left. And then, at that point, Schultz, I think it was Allie Schultz, steps to the line for St. Ignace with 25 seconds left. The freshman, and her first free throws of the night she missed the front end of two, and I'm like, hey Scott, kind of watch this. It's on a 1-and-1. She misses that one, but kudos to her. I mean, a freshman stepping into a situation like that
it's huge.
Huge is not even the word. I mean, that takes a lot.
Knock them both down and sort of seal the game.
Well, that's the kind of thing is we were like, okay, she's got to get the one, and then I was like, what grade is she? And we both looked and we're like, oh, she's a freshman.
She's a freshman.
So it's like that's a lot of pressure on a freshman's back.
It is
right
absolutely. And kudos. And I don't know if we really say this enough, or even when we talk about the Kingston girls. I'm sure we do, and we mention it a lot. But man, Carly Smith just played a whale of a ball game. She ended up with a double-double. You want to talk about pulling down offensive rebounds. I mean, they out-rebounded St. Ignace on the boards. I mean, hit them hard, too, on the boards. And St. Ignace Ingles, Doug and Doreen, they're yelling at the players, get the ball. And,
it something 39-22?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, just absolutely out-rebounding them. I mean, Jillian Dinsmore did a great job on Covio.
She did a great job the past two games.
Yeah. I mean, she
didn't want to go home, that's for sure.
She's been playing out of her mind. And, on the offensive boards, even, the smallest player comes out with a ball, and Jerry Lynn Carpenter, she had 5 boards in the first half or first quarter. First half. Sorry. It's effort like that really, kind of pours it on. And, besides the fact of, what was it, Covio and I can't even think of her, who's the other one?
Marshall?
Not Marshall. Number 42 here. Help me out.
Oh, Philippia?
Philippia. Yeah. 6'3" and 6 foot. I mean, that's big on the girl side of things. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, when you start talking 5'11" with Dinsmore and Smith. I mean, that's usually a good size, but you get to the 6 foot level, the 6'3". There's a lot going on there, but Haley Marshall was another one for St. Ignace. Very quick step, and I'm gonna tell you what, Cam McGuire played her about as good as you could possibly play her. She was quick. Probably one of the quickest players I've ever seen. Yeah. Maybe outside of the player from Utica, Eisenhower.
Wow. She was light on the feet. She was quick around the court, but. Shout out to Carly Smith too.
Big shots. She hit some big shots from the outside, man. She would just set up and she was hitting them from the corners from beyond the arc. And yeah, you're right, those guys.
She doesn't get the accolades and mentions that some of the other girls do, but she does what she has to do out there in the court, and she does a great job doing it. And I think that she deserves a lot more credit, and all the girls did. I mean, they played their hearts out. Jerry Lynn Carpenter, the girl's 5 foot.
3, maybe 2, 3 with with shoes on.
She plays like she's 6'3" out there. She's not afraid to go up against anybody. And
they have her listed in the program at 5'2". Okay. So 5'2", probably with shoes on.
And soaking wet.
Soaking wet. Yes, and soaking wet.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, she's tiny, but she comes in with a full head of steam when she's ready to play. So I mean, They weren't going to bow out easily, and that's kind of the thing we said in the pregame. I said, I hope they win the game, or I hope they keep it close. That was the one thing I wanted them to go into the game doing, right. And I think that's kind of the one thing that they obviously wanted to win. Obviously, that was the number one thing. Well, but if they weren't able to do that, keeping it close against the number one team in the state.
Absolutely. And you could tell all the effort that was being put in, and Scott and I were right there, and the fourth quarter was so intense on these girls that Lily Lyons was absolutely gasping for air. I mean, you could tell that she was leaving everything out there. Yeah. Hands were on the knees. She was just trying to get anything that she could possibly get for a breath. I mean, she had her hands full. I think most of the time she was on Olsen, one of the 3-point threats. Yeah. For St. Ignace, and Olsen I think got 9 points or whatever it was, all on 3-pointers. 6 points. Sorry, 6 points. That's right.
Two threes.
Yep.
And they did that same play back to back.
Yep. Top screen at the top, at the very top of the arc. Yeah.
Ask Chris about the defense that they ran, that you were asking me about.
What kind of full court press did St. Ignace run?
It was a man-to-man full court press.
Straight up man-to-man?
Straight up man-to-man.
Did they have someone on the ball out of bounds, or was that person back?
They just went on the ball, didn't they?
Late in the game, they had them back. Early in the game, they were on the ball.
Yeah, because that's their classic presses. they don't pressure the ball. They put someone back.
Yeah.
That's called the lob position.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
later
did a nice job with that.
later in the game, they kind of backed off the ball a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, it was. I think for the first half, it was. If I remember correctly, it was on the ball. Don't take me exact, but a lot of the time it was off the ball. Definitely the second half they were off the ball.
Also, big shout out right now to Cam McGuire, who is back at Van Noord Arena, and she's participating in a 3-point shootout that's going on over there. She was chosen by BCAM as one of the top 20 in Michigan, so she's over there and trying her hand at that. So good luck to Cam McGuire on that and participating in that. But a great season. Congrats, Lady Cards. You did a heck of a job, made everybody proud in the thumb, and made us proud, and we got to go for a ride, and it was a heck of a ride. So
yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully in a couple of years, or next year even, heck, we'll do it again.
They're going to be good for a while.
Yeah.
I think
their program's solid, and especially when Lane Walker's group gets up there, watch out.
Well, they were out in the court the other night. As,
Molly.
As a ball girl or water girl or whatever she was doing, and I said, can she throw on a jersey right now? Maybe sneak in on the bench, help them out, give a little bit more depth in there for Jay. But
that's about it too.
Chris or Dave Lester, full court man trap in the corners after half court, tons of length on the trap from St. Ignace. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing is Covio was 6 foot.
They have her listed as 6 foot,
but she was her wingspan was for days. I mean,
absolutely.
She was making some moves in the paint and down the low post that were just phenomenal to watch.
You know, it's going to be an interesting game, and you know, once the scores start scrolling in from this finals with. Is it Bree Salabin from Lenawee Christian? I mean, she's averaging 23 points. Covio is averaging 22.9 or something like that. That's going to be that should be an interesting game at the finals. So kind of wait to see what those scores roll in on. But yeah, I mean the length, the overall length for Kingston, and I talked about this a little bit with Scott. I said, you know, to be honest with you, if you take the hockey rotation subs that they had coming in out of the equation, if you just take that out of the equation, I would have felt very, very confident Kingston 6 versus St. Ignace 6 all day long.
Really?
All day long.
You said that. Yeah, you did say that on the air the other day. So real quick, first update we got coming in here. St. Ignace already forcing 5 turnovers on Lenawee Christian. 7-5 with 4:20 left in the first. Plenty of time.
I believe it was like 22 or 23 turnovers that they ended up forcing on Kingston. So, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of pressure coming out of that.
That's their game.
That is
Kingston's game.
Yep. Yeah, so.
Or St. Ignace.
Yeah, exactly. But, again, 48-44 ends the run for the Kingston Lady Cards, ends our basketball season. Because I said when you're done, we're done.
Real quick, one other shout out that I mean, we did talk about it on the air. Kingston held St. Ignace. I mean, St. Ignace was going through this tournament just putting up ungodly numbers. I mean, they were holding opponents to under 30 points, so on and so forth. They were scoring over 50 points a game. Some of these tournament runs, they were making 70-plus points a game. One of the games, I think, was 74-17 or something like that.
They had beat Hillman 71-12.
Yeah.
Beat Max City 71-17. Beat Baraga 76-45.
And that was
Baraga. Is it Baraga? I call them Baraga.
Baraga, I don't know.
It's a UP team. Baraga. We'll go with Baraga. It's good.
Exactly.
Either way.
Darn Michigan
but I mean,
names.
You know, Kingston held them defensively, held them to below 50 points. You know, and Kingston put up 40 points on them. So, kudos to them. You know, I think that I believe it was the third quarter is the quarter that kind of, I think, did Kingston in a little bit. They only had 6 points that third quarter. You know, a couple opportunities they had coming out of halftime, just couldn't convert on. The pressure was really, really there from St. Ignace. They came out real heavy. But, no, just a heck of a performance defensively. We knew Kingston defensively was going to keep themselves in the game, and that's exactly what they did. Yeah.
They did a great job. And, I mean, they clawed back from the depths. That's the one thing that impressed me the most is they were down big, and they were able to come back. And Jillian Dinsmore had that shot that just it seemed like it hung up on the rim for days, and then it finally fell, and it was a 2-point game. And I think my phone started blowing up. And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, like this is crazy." My wife, who doesn't ever listen to any of the games I do, love you, said this game is intense. And I'm like, it really is. Like it
was probably one of the best girls basketball games I've seen this year.
By far. By far. Absolutely, yeah, sure. 48-44, I know I keep repeating it, and I know they probably hate hearing it over and over again, but leading the way once again for the last time for the Kingston Cards, Carly Smith, 15 points, 12 rebounds. Lily Lyons, 12 points, and trailing up after that, we had a 7-point performance from Miss Jillian Dinsmore, but a very valuable 7-point performance from Jillian Dinsmore.
Yeah.
And shout out to all the seniors, obviously. Carly Smith, Jillian Dinsmore, Cam McGuire, Jerry Lynn Carpenter, Lily Lyons, help me out here, Ashton Davis, Kenny Long, DeLong, excuse me. Am I missing anybody?
You already said Jerry Lynn?
I did.
Okay. Ashton,
Emily Warrington.
Emily Warrington, Carly Smith, Ashton Davis, Cam McGuire, Emily Warrington, Kendra DeLong, Lily Lyons, Jerry Lynn Carpenter, Jillian Dinsmore. I believe that's everybody. It's just a lot of seniors on that team.
It's been a fun ride.
It has been.
And we thank you for that, obviously, and to all the other seniors out there throughout the season that we have lost. And moving on now and learning new names, which I hate. I hate change.
Yeah, I hear
I'm
you.
sure everybody else hates change, especially that Kingston Cardinal squad. But it's going to be fun the next couple of years for them. So we'll definitely be, as long as we're around. I'll be. I told them, I said, I hope to hang around long enough to see the Walker girls come up. So we'll see.
We've been hearing about them.
I've been hearing, a couple of years now. I mean, last year we had a boys basketball coach from Ubley asking us, "Hey, you heard the Walker girls from Kingston?" Chris is like, "Oh yeah,
I know who they are."
So it's gonna be fun. But that's gonna be coming up next couple of years. We still have a season coming up. It's gonna be on. Peyton Colotz, Anna Ahern, Hannah James. Those are going to be the big names to watch next year.
Yeah, Brooke Mooney's gonna. You can throw Brooke Mooney in there as well. I mean, Kingston's gonna have a good team coming back. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna be good. So definitely no discredit to them.
And my cousin Danielle.
There you go.
I gotta give her a shout out too. Just learned I had her as a cousin a week and a half ago. What a bizarre playoff run I had personally. So with that being said, we're gonna be taking a time out. We're gonna come back. We got boys to talk about. We still have other girls to talk about. Obviously, plenty of teams out there. And we'll come back as we got more Let's Talk Sports. The recap of the winter sports season. Stay right there.
Classic Rock I-92.
It's the little things.
Everyone, it's Rick Lipan from Majestic Sky Link, your local Dish premier retailer, TV and internet expert. In these days of fast-paced lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local Dish premier retailer to tell you the honest truth. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call us at 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkyLink.com. We are your local resource for TV and internet solutions.
This is Deborah Lipian from Majestic Skylink here in Carroll. We are your local premier Dish authorized TV and internet retailer. Are you tired of waiting on hold and trying to talk to the big box companies? Why not just talk to your neighbors here at Majestic Skylink? We pride ourselves on the great customer experience we provide for our Dish TV and internet customers. Drop by Majestic Skylink at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. Local dealer, local service.
Hi everyone, it's Rick Lipan from Majestic Skylink, your local Dish premier retailer, TV and internet expert. In these days of fast-paced lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local Dish premier retailer to tell you the honest truth. Drop by Majestic Skylink at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call us at 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. We are your local resource for TV and internet solutions.
This is Deborah Lipian from Majestic Sky Link here in Carroll. We are your local premier Dish authorized TV and internet retailer. Are you tired of waiting on hold and trying to talk to the big box companies? Why not just talk to your neighbors here at Majestic Sky Link? We pride ourselves on the great customer experience we provide for our Dish TV and internet customers. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. Local dealer, local service.
Hi. Lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local Dish Premier retailer to tell you the honest truth. Drop by Majestic Skylink at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call us at 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. We are your local resource for TV and internet solutions.
This is Deborah Lipian from Majestic Sky Link here in Carroll. We are your local premier Dish authorized TV and internet retailer. Are you tired of waiting on hold and trying to talk to the big box companies? Why not just talk to your neighbors here at Majestic Sky Link? We pride ourselves on the great customer experience we provide for our Dish TV and internet customers. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. Local dealer, local service.
Hi everyone, it's Rick Lipan from Majestic Sky Link, your local Dish Premier retailer, TV and internet expert. In these days of fast-paced life.
For emotional burnout. Exposure to
Well, apparently they're on commercial.
I'll leave it up to them to go to commercial.
And learning to compete better.
To play some of the game.
Link at 326.
Go to commercial at the same time we did. Maybe we're on their meteor timeout still.
Where we?
It's the way it was the other day. We lost Christian too, by the way. If you're watching at home, I don't know where.
I have no idea where he's at. He's
I
gone.
think he had his phone out, so I don't know if he got a phone call or something.
Oh,
but
probably.
Nonetheless, we are back. It's Let's Talk Sports.
It's Coach Zalik this time of the year.
Yes, that's
He's probably
right.
got the kids on a program, a diet program.
Jim Harbaugh style program.
Jim Harbaugh.
What are you eating?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I had 2 nuts and I licked an apple earlier this morning. That was it. I had nothing, Coach.
Good. Bring all your snacks to me.
Yeah, right.
I will dispose of them properly.
Well, yeah, he's if I saw this right, he's in his 17th year.
Yeah, with the Millington baseball program.
Yeah.
Very, very cool, and going to be getting ready for that, and more than likely going to be covering some softball, baseball action out there, and hopefully getting down to Michigan State once again.
Yeah.
And calling a game from there.
Chris,
you haven't been able to do it yet.
I have not. Well, I have not been able to do it. And honestly, I think by the way the finals are going to land this year, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it again, to be honest with you, if it happens, because it's going to be on that one of those June weekends where I actually have a scheduled up tournament.
I love doing it alone, but it's a lot better with somebody when Christian was able to be there, because it was cool to get like the sounds of the game.
Baseball and softball is a little bit different. Well, softball's a little bit faster, obviously, than what the baseball is.
Thank God Christian was there, putting his knowledge in there, because I was trying to keep up with it, and it just it wasn't working out. Baseball was a lot easier for me. It's a lot slower of a game, but softball's like
it's go.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a lot of time to fill in between pitches and everything else for baseball, but softball much quicker. Yeah, absolutely.
End of one, St. Ignace 17, Adrian Lenawee Christian 16 with a buzzer beater in the lane.
End of one or end of half?
End of half. Salambian.
Bree.
D.
Oh, so it's not Bree. It's the other
D.
one. It's the sister.
Yeah,
it's her sister.
Are they one of the tall ones?
Bree is the tall one.
Okay,
she is.
right.
They have her listed at 6'2".
Oh, there she is, right there. She had a big 3.
Oh, it's a big 3.
Yeah, earlier in the game. So she's got some range on her as well.
Oh yeah,
as length. But we just talked about the Kingston Lady Cardinals having a great season. It was a fun season all around. The Greater Thumb West was Reese all season long. They ran into some problems in the divisional semifinal. Christian can talk about that when he's here, because he ended up going up against that squad in Montrose not too long after. But a great season for Reese, and a heck of a building block they have over there as well.
Man, I tell you what, you want to talk about building block? Yeah, they do. They got a great pieces set in place over there, and Man, Coach Piquel, he could be rich for a few years to come.
I mean, Zoe Purcell's. They have Josie Johnson.
Yep.
They have. I'm trying to think of the other one that's out there as well. Oh my gosh, it's escaping my mind right now. They have one more. Oh gosh, it's gonna bother me. I'm gonna look it up.
I was gonna say look it up there or look it up on the tablet. You'll end up finding it. But yeah, I mean the Greater Thumb West was pretty much it was a runaway with Reese, right? I mean there was really nobody that was gonna compete with him in the Greater Thumb West. I mean there were some teams that kind of kept it close for a while. We saw Greater Thumb East squad though in Sandusky come on and challenge them. Oh, yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So there's 3 big freshmen right there, and 2 of them started, and 1 came off the bench as a 6th player.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, they're losing 2 big names, Maddie Thompson, Taylor Finley, but they have some pieces in place, 3 big pieces that are going to be able to be built around or bring some of those seniors in and let them take over. I mean, let the sophomores
are going to be sophomores. Yeah, absolutely. Going to let those sophomores kind of take over and let them run with it. And who knows what Coach Piquel is going to come out with. More than likely, he's going to be real rich, though, when it comes down to the final things.
Yeah, I mean, they had a great season. Like I said, the Greater Thumb West, they had a great season, the Greater Thumb West. And we kind of thought they were poised for a deep run as well, and it just didn't happen. But no reason to hang your head over there in Reese because you got a heck of a squad coming up and a couple great seasons ahead of you at least.
Oh, absolutely.
For the next couple seasons.
Well, we're talking about the Greater Thumb West. I mean, surprise squad this year, Carol.
Yes.
You think of squads around the area, you know, what they've done last year and then where they came through this year. Watching them, we were able to watch them for a couple games and just a surprise squad, to be honest with you. A good squad.
If you would have asked me if they had, and this is no disrespect at all, if they would have had double-digit wins this season, no.
I would have told you no. Yeah.
In the Greater Thumb West, it's not like it gets any easier over there. Obviously, coming out of the Tri-Valley, it gets a little bit easier with you lose the likes of Frankenmuth and Sarah Miller over in Bertrand, and you lose those types of teams. But you come to the Greater Thumb West where you have USAs who usually are tough. You have Reese, obviously.
You got Lakers sitting up there.
Yeah.
Cass City.
Yeah, I mean,
you have those girls and boys teams that always compete in that division. They always beat up on one another.
And they're able to come in, and Jay was able to coach a heck of a season, and he had some big players. And Ellie Hornbacher had a great season. Caitlin Arbello had a great season. Lillian Hessling had a great season. They just had I'm trying to think of her name now off the top of my head. Root.
Kendall,
yes, thank you. Had a great season as well defensively. I mean, they had a lot of good pieces in there, and they had Murphy. Can't forget about her, Ashley Murphy, and Coach Jay. He did a great job. I mean, and I gotta give him a shout out here on his Twitter this morning.
Do it.
He said, and I give him respect for this because I agree. People really went off the rails about this whole Tom Izzo thing. Yeah. But as a diehard Michigan fan, all I can say is that Coach Izzo did nothing wrong. He's a very passionate and intense coach. Didn't physically harm the kid. If he can't take a good verbal lashing like that, maybe he should think twice about being a Division I b-ball player. And all I thought in my head was, if nobody can take a good lashing, they shouldn't come watch Jay Riley coach.
That's right.
Everyone's going to get yelled at around you. I'm just kidding, Jay, obviously. We know you're one of the most intense coaches in the Thumb.
He's just an intense coach, right? I mean, he wants to make sure that the girls hear him when he's on the floor, and I mean, he's very vocal about it, and just how Jay is.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, it's a coaching style, but he's going to now have that coaching style up there in Cass City as well, as you like a coach up there.
Yeah.
Who likes
Justin Ketterer.
Yeah, John Ketterer likes to be very
animated as well.
Yep.
But it just. They're intense coaches, and they want the best out of their teams. So shout out to them. And I do know that there was one more name that I did leave off of the name that I was talking about with Carol, is Olivia Bringard, who had a great season as well. So shout out to the Carol girls, and they are getting 2 big names back next year with Caitlin Arbello and Ellie Hornbacher, and just build off of that. And I know that I do know that there's there's an 8th grader, I believe. My nephew told me that's pretty good at basketball coming up.
So 9th grader
should be a freshman next year. Jay, you might, if you want to input on this, feel free to text me or message me. But I think there's an 8th grader that's coming up that's going to be pretty good for them.
Pretty good.
That's what I've heard.
That's what yeah, absolutely. That's what they need.
I don't know if Christian knows anything about it or not. A girl in 8th grade in Carroll that's pretty good at basketball.
Yes, she is.
Do you know? Is it the Moore girl?
I don't know her name.
Okay.
I know Coach Riley's looking really forward to her a lot.
Yeah. So that should be interesting to see what that Carroll comes back with next season. And I know that he's gunning for obviously to do even better.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what you
absolutely.
do. It's what you're looking to do, obviously. And Christian, I know that. Well, you had a rough season, but very young squad outside of Leah Denome and Maddie Hahn.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I mean, you have a young squad coming back next year, and you had a young lady. Help me out with her name.
Annika
Sykes. Thank you. I couldn't think of her last name. Who started coming into her own towards the end of the season. She had a career high, I do believe, and she started getting a little bit better. And I know that even Bub's niece too. She had a heck of a game in that
she did.
That district game against.
Montrose.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, and
also played well against New Lothrop as well in the final.
Yeah. So New Lothrop. That's the team. Not
New
Montrose.
Lothrop, not
I was thinking
Montrose.
the wrong team.
I was wondering when you said that earlier. I was like, I
Thanks
thought it
for
was New Lothrop, but
thanks for correcting me.
I just kind of I stayed back.
No,
I stayed back.
But yeah, no. I mean, she had a turnaround bucket in that game against Montrose. She had a steal and the bucket that kind of helped turn that game around in favor of Millington. So a lot of building blocks as well for you over in Millington. So
we're looking forward to it.
Should be a lot of fun with those squads, and then you got USA, who's normally not down for long. They usually can build back as well. Losing Riley Zimmer is going to be a huge hit for them, but I'm sure somehow, some way they're gonna
still have Williamson, so that'll help.
Yeah, exactly, and they're gonna build off of that as well. And Sandusky, we can go over there and talk about Aldemont.
Oh yeah.
Somehow, I don't know. He's got magic. He creates great basketball players. And
what does Scott? I don't have a roster, and I don't actually remember, but I believe Lakers has got quite a few coming back from the girls' side of things as well. So
they don't have much graduating either,
right?
Yeah. So they should be.
Coach Dubes should have a pretty decent season.
Yeah.
Come next year up there as well.
Yeah, they should be okay as well. And then I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, yes, I remember I was going with this now. If Al sticks around, I don't know if you guys heard, but
if Al sticks around,
well, at least for the long period of time. We're thinking here.
Oh, okay.
But Coach Orlando retired a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
so
Frank did, huh?
Yeah, he's Frank Orlando has officially retired. So Al is now the longest, the with the most wins that's still active right now.
Most active.
Yes.
And
winningest coach.
Lord knows Frank Orlando can put rings on every finger and almost every toe as well.
Yeah, exactly. So Al's still chasing that one, but he is less than 80 wins away from topping him for most, and there's nothing really that's holding him back from winning 800 games in his career.
Yeah. What's that for DeMott, like 4 years?
Well, that's what we figured out.
Could be
what is
very easily.
He averages, exactly. Yeah. But at least 15 wins for the next 5 or 6 years. He's, I don't, pending, him being forced to retire. I don't see him ever.
He is the AD. He doesn't.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, he's got his own fate in his hands. But that's the thing is one Sandusky has Aldemont forever, and I'm sure that. He's still chasing that state title, and who knows? I mean, they've been able to build up some teams over there, so we'll see what they can do. But yeah, Frank Orlando officially retiring. I think it was 2 weeks ago. It was kind of quiet. I didn't know anything about it. Mike Gallagher actually messaged me. He goes, "Yeah, Frank Orlando retired." So now Al's the longest tenured coach or the longest active winning coach.
What? I did see that. I didn't even think about it, but about 2 weeks ago, I saw the job posting for Detroit Country Day Women's.
You can apply.
Oh. Why not?
Man, just think.
I could use a state championship.
You could wear your suits out there.
I know.
Ooh, man, Yeah,
all white.
Exactly.
Bring some class to Country Day.
But yeah, so that's another squad to watch out for. And I mean, the Greater Thumb East was just it was. Lack of better words, it was a mess this year. It was kind of, we didn't know who was going to end up on top. We didn't know who was going to beat who any given night. It was just, I just kind of threw my hands up in the air halfway through the season, like just let it play out, because I'm not even going to try to predict who's going to beat who, the ping pong theory.
Well, if you take a look at the Greater Thumb East, it was the same way with the girls.
That's what I meant.
Or the Greater Thumb East. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I meant. Sorry if I said West, but that was just that's the way that it went. But they were able to split it 3 ways. The top 3 teams, obviously Brown City, Harbor Beach, and Sandusky. And Brown City, though, they're losing their
She's a scorer.
Hats off to
Their
her,
centerpiece.
too. I mean, in 3.5 years, she scores over 1,400 points.
Well,
Could you imagine what she would have done last year if she stayed healthy?
Because she was
absolutely
21 through 10 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was our Player of the Year 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We don't know if she will be this year.
Yeah, she is. It's on Twitter. It's not me. It's Doug Buxlow.
It's Let's Talk Sports accidentally retweeting it, not thinking. But, she's just a heck of a player and just a great person. We had her in here over the winter break, and it was fun to have her in here. And
it was.
Her parents, obviously, very supportive of her career, and excited to see where she ends up going. She hasn't officially announced anything yet. They're waiting to the end of the season. There were some teams that were still looking at her. I know St. Bonaventure was really looking at her. They've been hot on her ever since she was a sophomore, I believe. So
it'll be kind of neat if we can bring her back in here 4 years from now, sort of like we did with those 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've already kind of planned out the next.
Doors are open, as we say. Doors are always open.
Well, it's locked in the back. You just have to ask us.
got
We'll open it for you. But and I already kind of laid the groundwork of who I want to bring in for this coming, for the winter or the Christmas episode.
Yeah.
As I was asked last year by Lauren Adam, she was home and she was like, "Oh, I would have loved to come in." I'm like, how long are you going to be around? And she's like, and she has to obviously go all the way back down to South Carolina. Is it South Carolina, North Carolina? Is it South Carolina Gardner-Webb's in?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. And so she has to go all the way back down there. And so I told her, I said, hey, next year, you're definitely more than welcome. So
she must have been a happy person as well, the boys team.
They they definitely shook up some brackets.
Yes,
they had people shaking at least before they eventually fell to Virginia. But man, a heck of a showing by Gardner-Webb.
Anybody that has Virginia in the Final Four,
Good luck.
I don't even know what you were thinking.
It's Virginia in March. You shouldn't.
Yeah, you don't take them.
Think about putting them that far down, but watch they come back and win the title now.
Probably.
I learned my lesson putting them in the Final Four last year.
I agree with that statement right there.
Yeah, they know how to burn people. And somebody said on Twitter, if they lose to another 16, they should get their rights taken away from being able to dance, right? I mean,
I think they should have gotten the death penalty from the NCAA if they'd have lost the 16 again.
Yeah, I know, right? Back to, I'm sure if Little Caesars had that contest going again, they're like, forget about it. Virginia, we don't want anything to do with you.
Right.
If anybody loses but Virginia, then we'll give you the pizza and pop. And I think they learned their lesson last year.
I'm pretty sure they learned their lesson.
A ton.
Yeah, because I don't think they had that this year.
I don't think so either.
I don't think there's anything out there if a 1 or a 16.
Everyone's afraid now.
I know.
They're dodging that bullet before it can even happen. So, but nonetheless, I mean, it was an interesting season over in the Greater Thumb East, and Greater Thumb West was kind of clear cut who we kind of thought was going to take over, and they did take over, and
probably will for the next couple of years as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and. NCTL, that was kind of a clear cut as far as the one side.
Yep.
And then Peck, very strong once again last year, this past season. So, and then Tri-Valley. Tri-Valley was kind of a surprise to me in a way. Garber ended up taking it, right? They took the conference?
They took the East,
which
yes.
I didn't know anything about them going into the season. So when I picked, I was like, we'll go Frankmuth. That seems like a safe pick. But I think you mentioned Bertrand at the start of the season.
I was positive Bertrand was going to win it all. Bertrand struggled this year.
Yeah.
And then obviously ended up losing to Bridgeport in the district semifinals.
Holy cow, Bridgeport turned it up in the district.
Yes, they did. And then Garber was solid. Garber graduated 2 really good girls. They're both going to be playing at Delta next year. So they were solid, and they got a lot of stuff coming back. I'm just glad they're in another conference now next year.
That's right. You guys are going to be moving.
Moving.
Things are going to be changing up. And I looked at the football schedule, and I'm like, this is so weird.
It was, isn't it?
Frankenmuth on there, and not seeing Garber on there.
I know.
But, I mean, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a change of scenery in a way. But
yes, it will.
We already have, I have penciled in Ithaca there in week number 2. I want to see. I think, Ithaca's going to be out for revenge, but it'll be fun to see them.
I think Ithaca only graduated 2 people from the team.
I hope it's like a 19-degree night in week number 2, and there's no room in a press box. I'm just throwing it out there.
Why do you think I'm doing the game?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Payback.
Just raining.
Yeah. Okay.
Pouring.
Perfect.
Yes.
Just
pouring.
pour.
Perfect.
Just raining.
Pour her down.
Torrential rains.
Yeah, I already called dibs. I think we already have our name up there on the booth. So
perfect.
That's the plan. Is week number 2, Millington Ithaca. Other than that, I don't know where we're going to be yet. I haven't even looked at that.
That's the only one we know about, folks.
I will be honest, though. If you go to MichiganFootball.com, it's already up there. Greater Thumb conferences already have their schedule.
Yes.
So I was maybe taking a little bit of a peek here in March. You can never
have to.
You can never be prepared too early. I mean, you got to get on those games right away and figure out where you're going to end up. So
yeah, because the internet station might go wherever they want to.
And you got to start throwing elbows and making yourself some space up there. But nonetheless, that's going to be that's a couple months away. But as I always say, it'll be here before we know it. And I'll have a 1-year-old. It blows my mind.
1-year-old.
Wild, isn't it?
And that's another thing I want to shout out to the Kingston girls. I didn't get. I was going to mention it to them. How cool it was that they got personal connection because they were here when we announced to the world. Well, Chris helped me announce to the world that I was going to be a father.
Yes.
Yeah. So they were in the studio last year, which even another close connection to the Kingston girls. So, but nobody got to see my cool way I announced it with the Star Wars scrolling title screen. It didn't scroll. It was just a picture of the Star Wars when I announced that I was having a baby.
That's right. I forgot about that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I was gonna, after he was born, I really wanted to have the lightsaber turn blue and then post that, but I totally forgot about it. I had other things going on, but
a little bit too much on the mind.
A little bit, yeah. So. But that was the girls kind of wrap up, a little bit of a light recap there, and a look back at the season. Any early predictions for next year, guys? I'm going Reese. I'm going. Man, the Greater Thumb East is gonna be weird next year because you're losing a lot.
Yeah, you're
losing Muxlow, you're losing Goff, you're losing Jessica Weber up in Harbor Beach.
Well, I think Harbor Beach is actually probably losing the most out of all 3 of those.
I think there's. I think.
I mean, I think
Coach
they'll be
Tam
okay,
will still have them. Solid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then watch out for Ubley as well.
Yeah, Ubley somehow, some way. They only had 7-8 girls this year in that district, and they clawed their way. I mean, they fought hard, and they pushed out Cass City in that game, and they did a great job. They somehow figure it out up there in Ubley, and gosh, I don't know. It's way too early to even think about it, but I think Abby Bowles be coming back next year for Sandusky. She's definitely going to have to step up into a bigger role, and Al's got some young pieces over there, and obviously we know what's going to happen in the West because, well, there's 3 girls that have played as freshmen that are going to be pretty darn good next year as well. So.
Heck of a ball game right now in Division 4 is a couple back-to-back 3-pointers by Lenaway's. I'm assuming is it Salabin, Dana Salabin, and then Emily Hart from St. Ignace ended up hitting one back, tied 30-30. That was with 24 seconds left, but then Adrian Lenaway Christian leads St. Ignace at half, 32-30.
Wow.
They said it's been sloppy thus far with 15 turnovers from Lenaway and 9 from St. Ignace.
That's the way it was the other night, though.
It was.
On both sides, it was kind of sloppy, especially in that third quarter. St. Ignace came out, and it was definitely a very sloppy performance, but, they were able to clean it up enough to get the victory. We keep going back, but it was just such a fun game to watch.
It was.
So it's kind of your wrap up on the girls' side of things. It's too early to tell on a lot of that stuff because
my no early predictions are not even going to come out. Yet.
It was funny because last night I was like, I was kind of relaxing. I'm like, as sad as I am, the season's over. I'm happy because my brain is just fried out. my wife's like, why? And I said, it's just a grind. You got to remember different names. I mean,
you got to
gyms.
Let's be honest too, right? I mean, we've been going since August.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then and then you got basketball, and then you get into the playoffs, and you're constantly going. Yeah. I mean, we're no Eddie Fury, who's covering like 300 games a year, but. No,
not this year.
No, well, not this year. That's why he took the break. That's why I got to talk to Eddie and hang out with him the other night at the. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to say.
I noticed how he just popped up out of nowhere and decided to cover a game since they were in the semifinals.
Who?
Eddie.
What do you mean?
Thumbtail, the Gator was tweeting everything on Twitter on the other
Kingston
night.
Game?
Yeah.
He retweeted our tweet, so.
Oh, okay.
I'll give him. He's probably listening to us and just helping me out because I was trying to update. I was telling him the other night at the photo shoot. I said, it's so difficult to keep Twitter updated. You're constantly going. I wish I had, just a social media person sitting next to me.
I'm telling you what, you want to talk about just.
That's why that one thing on the scoring app is kind of cool.
Yeah. I almost turned that on the other day. I should have. Yeah. Oh. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, actually, sitting down at the semifinals, I mean, what was really nice, right? I mean, after every quarter, we had stats printed out and given to us.
Right next to
that's
us.
very cool.
Literally right next to us, like, hey, here you go. I mean, we need a social media person like that, Scotty. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah, I know. We need to bring a printer.
I mean, we need a printer. We need everything. I mean, we could have legit hookup here after a while.
Just bring a printer with us to the games.
Well, mention it to one of the graduating seniors this year.
Well, I was going to ask Hunter, but he's too busy for us probably.
He's busy for anybody.
He's just a busy man. But no, yeah, I can just imagine going to a game. They're like, how much room do you need? Well, we need room for a printer,
12 foot of table space.
But they did it at baseball too. But they waited to the very end of the game and softball as well. They come around with printouts, and we had everything, their average, and it was just super sweet. So shout out to the MHSAA on that and helping us out. We're gonna take a timeout. We're gonna come back. Anything else? Any last words on the girls' season?
No.
Just a great season.
It was. It was
for the Cardinals.
It was a fun season. A lot of teams from around the area. Kudos to Kendall Muxlow. Thanks for having her come in and do some interviews with us. She had a rough, obviously, junior campaign where she had to sit out. It's going to be fun missing a lot of these seniors from around the area. But, Scotty, like you said, we got a lot of new names coming in, and I'm right there with you. It stinks trying to learn those new names.
It should be a really fun at the All-Star game again.
It should be really fun.
Cool game.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of interesting notes in that one. Probably one of my favorite notes going into it, the way that it should shake out, as long as it shakes out that way, is that I'm not saying it's going to, but it should, is that Hunter James could play with some of the kids that he played with as a youngster over in North Branch.
Yeah, he very well could.
Which would be really cool to see them on the floor together. And you might see all starting 5 of the Kingston girls on the floor at one time, which I think should happen. I think that would be really cool. One last time Jay Green coached them.
Yep, absolutely.
So a lot of storylines behind it that could shake out, but again, that is going to be coming up in
I think there's
June.
another storyline, wasn't there? Robinson said he was taking all 3 events, right?
Robinson is going to, he
did say that.
He was going to win the MVP. He was going to win the dunk contest and the 3-point shootout, and then somehow win the girls' 3-point shootout.
Well, if Gabe gets this, I'm looking in the camera. Gabe, it's all on you now. You said it, not me.
That was compliments of his sister Sophie last year at the All-Star game. She's the one that relayed that message that he was going to go for all of them. So hopefully
now
he
we blame
shows
this
up.
on Sophie.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All
Hopefully he's there, and hopefully he does take all 3. It'd be cool to see the sweep. I mean, I might as well just have him up there calling the game with me and just say, hey, congratulations again. You picked up more hardware. But it should be a legit dunk contest this year. I mean,
absolutely. There's going to be several kids out there that are going to be able to throw it out.
We were talking to Mason Yan the other night at Harbor Beach, and you going to be in the dunk contest? He's like, yeah, absolutely. So he's going to be in it. Obviously, Cloyd will probably be in it.
Cloyd will be in it. James should be in it.
Gabe Robinson.
Robinson's going to be in it. Bug will be in it. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have some kids that have got some hops from around the area.
We'll talk boys basketball here in just a matter of moments, but we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We got more Let's Talk Sports winter recap right here. It is Classic Rock I-92. Stay right there.
Classic Rock I-92.
Everyone, it's Rick Lipan from Majestic Sky Link, your local Dish premier retailer, TV and internet expert. In these days of fast-paced lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local Dish premier retailer to tell you the honest truth. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call us at 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. We are your local resource for TV and internet solutions.
This is Deborah Lipian from Majestic Sky Link here in Carroll. We are your local premier Dish authorized TV and internet retailer. Are you tired of waiting on hold and trying to talk to the big box companies? Why not just talk to your neighbors here at Majestic Sky Link? We pride ourselves on the great customer experience we provide for our Dish TV and internet customers. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. Local dealer, local service.
Hi everyone, it's Rick Lipan from Majestic Sky Link, your local Dish premier retailer, TV and internet expert. In these days of fast-paced lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local Dish premier retailer to tell you the honest truth. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call us at 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. We are your local resource for TV and internet solutions.
This is Deborah Lipian from Majestic Sky Link here in Carroll. We are your local premier Dish authorized TV and internet retailer. Are you tired of waiting on hold and trying to talk to the big box companies? Why not just talk to your neighbors here at Majestic Sky Link? We pride ourselves on the great customer experience we provide for our Dish TV and internet customers. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. Local dealer, local service.
Hi everyone.
Aired by the Michigan Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Local Dish premier retailer, TV and internet expert. In these days of fast-paced lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local Dish premier retailer to tell you the honest truth. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call us at 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. We are your local resource for TV and internet solutions.
This is Deborah Lipian from Majestic Sky Link here in Carroll. We are your local premier Dish authorized TV and internet retailer. Are you tired of waiting on hold and trying to talk to the big box companies? Why not just talk to your neighbors here at Majestic Sky Link? We pride ourselves on the great customer experience we provide for our Dish TV and internet customers. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. Local dealer, local service.
Hi everyone, it's Rick Lipan from Majestic Sky Link, your local Dish premier retailer, TV and internet expert. In these days of fast-paced lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local Dish premier retailer to tell you the honest truth. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call us at 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. We are your local resource for TV and internet solutions.
This is Deborah Lipian from Majestic Sky Link here in Carroll. We are your local premier Dish authorized TV and internet retailer. Are you tired of waiting on hold and trying to talk to the big box companies? Why not just talk to your neighbors here at Majestic Sky Link? We pride ourselves on the great customer experience we provide for our Dish TV and internet customers. Drop by Majestic Sky Link at 326 South State Street in Carroll. Call 989-673-8094 or visit us at MajesticSkylink.com. Local dealer, local.
Hi.
Eating a shot. I-92 weather.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the Thumb's Classic Rock I-92 weatherology forecast. High temperatures reach up to 47 today under sunny skies, west winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Clear skies and quiet tonight, lows around 28. Highs level off around 49 tomorrow, overcast skies. Mainly sunny skies and calm Monday with daytime highs approaching 35. 39 Tuesday. And that's the Thumb's Classic Rock I-92 weather forecast. I'm weatherology meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently, it's 31.
It's time to get back to the only complete high school sports talk show in the Thumb and the boys and girls of Let's Talk Sports. You figure out which is which.
We are back. It is Let's Talk Sports Classic Rock I-92. Scott Bowlesby, Christian Zalick, Chris Wilcox here with you once again. And you said that was at halftime, Adrian Lenoy Christian?
Yeah, 32-30.
Ignis. Okay, there you go. So Adrian Lenoy Christian with the slight edge at halftime, so we'll definitely keep an eye.
Spread 7, according to Scotty B.
Hey, you know what? I was doing good for about a week during the season. That was about it. But
I think it was 3 days, let's be honest.
You know, whatever. I'm not getting technical here. I didn't win me any money. You watch Barstool Sports, watch the tournament? They're sitting they're watching it and they're betting.
Oh,
They
really?
bet. So, like, they're waiting for the over-under, and they went over 128.5 for the Michigan-Montana. So Michigan's up big, so they're like, come on. So the Montana Broad and the Scrubs are like, we're not, this is like, it was like a $60,000 bet or something like that.
Snap.
And they were like freaking out about it, and then they were able to get 129 total after Montana hit 2 late free throws, and they just went nuts. They were like,
I would have went nuts too.
Just telling me. So that was that's fun to do on Facebook. But if you're into Barstool, I know a lot of people are like, you shouldn't like Barstool Sports. They're not funny. They're dumb. They take, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to get into
Because I'd rather watch ESPN.
Yeah, no joke. Well, did you see? I just found out the other day. I'm pretty upset about this because I stay at home in the morning now with my kid. Dan Patrick's show used to be on NBC Sports Network. Got yanked off there about a month ago.
Really?
I didn't know that. He's no longer on there. I was like, come on, I'm finally home. He's now going to be on Bleacher Report live on their app, which I have a smart TV, so I downloaded it. I'm like, shoot, now I can watch it. Now I can watch it again. So I'm okay. I'm okay now. But, we're back. Winter recap for the winter sports season. And from girls, we're going to jump on over to the boys side of things right now. And pretty successful year once again for the USA Patriots, I'd say. Going undefeated in the regular season. Some big wins over Swan Valley. They're able to knock off Kingston, who was a big squad against them. They were able to knock off their rivals, Reese, one time in a buzzer beater, the other time in a big way. I'd say a pretty successful year. Got to the regional finals and were knocked out by the Beecher Bucks, who were out for revenge, to say the least. And then, the Beecher Bucks went on to take on Edison, and that's a whole sticky situation I don't want to get into. But nonetheless, it was a heck of a season, a great season all around, and it was a great senior campaign for Micah Kramer and Tyler Heckroth, who are now going to be exiting the USA Patriot program, and I think for the first time in 12 years they said something like it wasn't longer than that. It's probably longer than that. There will not be a Kramer on the squad.
Yeah.
It's got to be longer than 12 years.
It's longer than 12 years.
17 years. Steve, if you're listening, let us know.
See if I can. I'm seeing if I can.
It's been a
pull
long
it up
time.
here.
So it's going to be I keep saying it's a changing of the guard. It's a changing of the era up
And
there.
how weird is that going to feel for Gainforth?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
He's probably going to accidentally call somebody a Kramer, and it's going to hit him. But I mean, it's a lot of fun watching those kids up there. And Nash Morton had a great year this year.
Yes, he did.
Defensively was just a lockdown defender. That kid he was an unsung hero all season long, and it took me a couple times to see him before I realized how good of a defender he really was. Landon Zimmer. I mean, these two kids are going to be coming back next year, so USA is still going to be in pretty good hands. Landon Zimmer, just a hot shooter. He had 27 against Beecher.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal player as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun up there in USA. They obviously fell short of where they wanted to go yet again this season. They were able to make it to quarters last year, lost to Edison, lost to Beecher this year. So those are two pretty good named teams to lose to if you're going to exit out of the tournament. So, kudos to them for having a good year. And, I mean, they're going to be losing Keegan Bixman. Or is Bixman younger?
Bixman's younger.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure on it.
Okay. I'm trying to think because I know there's one more big senior they're losing. Who's the other one? Bixman is younger.
Fernandez.
Cruz, yes.
Yep.
I thought there was another one. Maybe not. Connor Gettle is going to be fun to watch next year as well. I think he's going to step up into a role.
The golden locks of love.
That flowing hair.
He's a first teamer all the way with the hair. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, dude, he's player of the year.
Oh, absolutely.
With that hair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm jealous. I mean, obviously, we can tell why.
I shave my head and wear a hat all the time. So, Josh Lang has got the long hair now, too. And Josh, obviously, a friend of the show because he came in here last year and towards the end of the season and hung out with us. But he's got the long locks, too. He kind of looks like a member of Greta Van Fleet is what I told him. But I said, man, I'm like, Connor, he's challenging you. He might actually have you beat as far as the locks this year. And so they I think they agreed with me on that one, which it's really hard to argue. But it's going to be an interesting year next year. It's going to be a different year or a different kind of scenery up there for USA. And
absolutely,
I mean they're gonna play USA ball though, and they're gonna do what they do best, and that's win games. I have no fear with that with Coach Gainforth.
The future's still bright. I mean, anytime you can, the way that Morton defended. And he has still game on the offensive end, and Zimmer on the offensive end.
Morton went head up with the kid from Beecher there,
Terry.
Jalen Terry, and he wasn't afraid, didn't back down, just did a great job against him, and just a fun player to watch defend anybody. And I think he's only going to get better. I mean, he's just one of those players, and. Obviously, he's coached by a great coach with Coach Gainforth, so he's got a lot to build on, and should be fun to watch them next year. So,
since we're in Division III with USA, should we talk about that final last week?
Do you want to get into that? Do we have any UP listeners?
Oh, that was brutal,
rough,
absolutely brutal. Now.
I only watched the replays. But
the travel was just horrible, just from the fact that it was called from 50 feet away from the trailing official.
That was the one thing that bothered me. I mean, it may have been a travel. It looked like a travel to me, but the official right there didn't call it. Right. It was a trailing official, and that's kind of what left the bad taste in my mouth personally. I didn't see the foul.
Mm-hmm. Well, the foul that was called. By the rule of the book, yes, it's an intentional foul.
Okay.
But the officials know they're trying to foul, so they should have called the first touch one.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really poor officiating.
I don't think people had so much a problem with the call. Like, I guess they did have a problem with the call, but I guess it was the timing of the call. Like, you're towards the end of a game, a big game like that, and it's just like...
And technically, by the rule of the book, it was intentional, but... I can't tell you how many times it happened this year, and it was never called.
That's another. I saw on Twitter quite a few people say, how many times this season do you think the official saw that same exact foul, and how many times do you think he called it intentional? We don't know. We don't know the record.
Right.
We're such a shortage of officials, and I really don't want to rip on them, but that was just brutal. It really was. It was heartbreaking for everybody all around.
Yeah. I mean, it was such a fun game up to that. I was here listening to it, and you could hear. When they announced the winners, when they gave the trophy to Pewamo Australia, you could hear the boos. I mean, I was listening. I was like, man, it really upset some people. Mm-hmm. Well, obviously it did because I got blocked, but that's a whole other story. I didn't. I apologize if you're listening.
Just
Fisher,
incredible.
I think it was Fisher, right, that made the final shot.
Yeah. But it was. And it was against a Jesuit team that everyone was it almost was like everyone's playing for second place against them. And they balled against them and they did what they had to do. And, and I kind of joked around with Wingert. I said, well, it's been fun watching Bates, but now he's going to transfer out of state. And Chad's like, you shut your mouth.
It's the truth, though. I mean,
he's gained, and Chad brought up a good point that he's gained so much attention there that maybe he doesn't need to. But what's best for the kid? That's what it's going to come down to.
I mean, his dad's an AAU coach, right? So, I mean, let's take it from that spectrum. I mean, he plays on a very well-rounded AAU ball team. I mean, they travel the country, right? I mean, that's what you do.
Yeah, but it'll depend on what prep school makes the best presentation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, who can get me the best shoes?
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. I mean,
it's all about the looks, right?
Darn right.
Did you see, speaking of looks, you see Zion's shoes yesterday?
Yeah, he almost blew out of him again.
He had airplane mode activated on him. And it had like an airplane. It was the Kyrie 4s, I think is what they were called. I'm not a shoe guy.
All I know is that it was a real close game at halftime.
Yeah.
Duke had to be a little.
There's a lot of close games.
There was.
It was. It's been a fun tournament so far. I mean, I wish
Tennessee and toothpaste. That was.
Somebody said, I think this is the first time that Tennessee fans have seen anything close to Colgate.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
So, I got cousins that are Tennessee fans.
That's beautiful.
I can't make too many jokes. And we obviously have Eric Triber, that's a Tennessee Volunteer, but I still want to every year that they get beat and like, oh, you got more time for that volunteering thing that you guys are always talking about. So they unfortunately haven't been defeated yet. I don't know. It's just the thing I got against Tennessee. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's been fun. But I mean, now back to USA. It was a great season for them in the Greater Thumb West, and a season that, like I said, I'll eat crow because I said that Reese is going to win the West this year, and coming out of the gate, the first game we saw, Reese USA came down to the buzzer, and one of the best games we saw this year with Kramer hitting that buzzer beater in the lane. It could have been a different game. It could have been a Reese win out of the gate right away, but USA did what they had to do. They get out there and go undefeated once again. So, I mean, it's been 2 years now where they haven't lost a regular season game, and it was, February of 2017 they lost a regular season game?
I think so, yes.
February or March, something like that. So it's been over 2 years now since they've lost a regular season game. So it's pretty impressive, but you can't really expect any less up there in USA. That's just kind of, like they said, they build winners up there.
Oh, it's, I mean, we were looking at a stat, and I don't want to keep going back to this, but we were looking at a stat going over to the Kingston girls game. I think it was for regional final. And we were talking about when was the last time that they lost a league game.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, we went back. I think it was
2013?
13 or longer?
Could have been
12, maybe.
Wow.
Maybe it's been quite a few years.
So it's getting into Frankenmuth level there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was getting there.
Yeah, it's getting up there. So I mean, it's impressive.
But I mean, they're good programs from around the area. I mean, that's what you run into in this area, in the Thumb area.
But watch out next year. Deckerville's a young squad over there, and that's one squad that Jay said he's going to have his eye on next year for sure. Is that Deckerville squad? They were young this year, but elsewhere in the Greater Thumb West, I mean, Carroll taking their first steps in the Greater Thumb West. Trevin Phillips having another great season up here in Carroll. Caleb Cotton coming out for the first time to play high school ball. Did a great job, helped out that Carroll squad, and they took their first step in the Greater Thumb West, which is a very tough conference to move on over to. It's it's Cass City. Sandy Cuthrell had another really good season as well over there. It's gonna be interesting next year. There's a lot of changes coming up. Sandy Cuthrell will be a senior. Trevin Phillips will be a senior next year. So a lot of these players are going to be stepping up. Reese, let's talk about them. Building blocks once again. We talked about with the girls. Well, the boys can do the same thing. Palmreiter, Rao, and Turbush, all freshmen over there. Two of them started. Turbush came off the bench pretty much, I don't want to say immediately, but he was a sixth or seventh player. I want to say seventh player coming off the bench.
Yep.
So he's got ball handling skills, and somebody's going to have to step up because Gabe Robinson obviously finally stepping down, and not stepping down, but moving up to the next level and going down to U of M Dearborn. So shout out to him.
I'm going to tell you what, if Reese keeps turning out players like they have with Raina Frost, watch out.
We could do a whole show on her.
We could do a whole show on her, and kudos to her. MAC Player of the Year. rebounding leader of everyone.
Only player in MAC history of 15-15.
Yeah, I mean, just
1500.
Absolutely unreal.
That's unbelievable.
Unreal is what she has done. That's what happens when you come on to LTS, right? During Christmas break. That's right.
How's Bauer been doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked
check
at
on her stats. So, we'll see if it does rub off on everybody. But yeah, I mean, it's just been a fun year on the boys' side as well, and watching some of these freshmen that are going to be starting to move up the ranks as well. Especially over in the Greater Thumb West. Now, Greater Thumb East, again, just like the girls' side of things, it was kind of a mess to figure out who was going to come out of it. And Harbor Beach, after all, prevailed. K-Pac had a chance there. Sandusky started making some noise towards the end. Brown City had some opportunities there to win the Greater Thumb East, but it ended up being Harbor Beach taking the Greater Thumb East title. So they were able to take it, boys and girls, this year. They shared it in girls, but still they got a piece of it, and pretty successful year for the Harbor Beach Pirates. And Coach, oh man, I can't think of his name off the top of my head now. I'm gonna look like a horrible person. Never mind. Let's just act like I didn't say that. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. It's going to bother me. But you know, it's just been it's been an interesting year in the Greater Thumb East on boys and girls. And I talked to I remember talking to Mike Gallagher about it, and I said, you know, who's going to come out of this one victorious? Who's going to come out of this one on top? Who's going to come out with the Greater Thumb East crown for the boys? And we couldn't figure it out. The girls were the same way.
Give me your stats. You got it?
Nikki Bauer's 2-0 on the year.
There you go.
Really?
Yes.
There you go. Does she have what's her ERA? Does it say?
Yeah, she's 2-0 on the year.
That's all you got to tell us?
Yes.
Hey, you know what? That's all you got to tell us. That number looks all right.
Yes.
2-0. See what happens. Come on in. Lauren Adam, you're going to lead Gardner Webb to the NCAA tournament next year. Come on in.
Happens.
Mm-hmm. You know, great. And Micah Kramer, great season for him. He was sitting right there.
You know, he's another one. I mean, he come back from, you know, injuries and had to sit out and just couldn't do a lot. And you want to talk about a kid that has basketball IQ.
Oh.
Yeah.
Incredible amount of it.
You know, expect him to either be teaching the game of basketball at a camp level, maybe similar to what his brother does. Mm-hmm. I don't know what his very next steps are, or if he's going to try to play basketball at the higher level as well. Or he's going to be a coach. He's going to settle down and be a coach somewhere. He just has the IQ to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe he will take over for Coach Gameforth.
Maybe.
One day, who knows? Yeah, exactly. But if he doesn't, I'm sure elsewhere he'll make a name for himself, just like his all of his brothers are doing something. So kudos to all the Kramer boys. But and then the NCTL is another one. Kingston kind of was the cream of the crop, but we thought Flint International Academy of Flint was going to be a tough one as well, and they end up having a pretty good campaign. Came out, beat Kingston right away at the very start of the season. Kingston got the payback, and then Kingston was able to pick up a share of that NCTL crown, which I know was a high on the list for Coach Lester this year. And I know that making a run would have been really nice for him, but they played their hearts out in that regional opener against who'd they play? Kingston. My God,
I want to say.
I forget offhand.
No, it's they're over there. I don't want to say Parkway. It's not Parkway. It's oh my God,
Big Rapids Crossroads.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Right,
yes. That was a battle. I came in late to that game. I came in at halftime, but it still was a battle to watch, and it was a fun game to watch as well. So, it was pretty successful year for them. I mean, like I said, they took a share of the NCTL crown, which I know was a big part of what they wanted to do for the NCTL and the Kingston Cardinal, the entire team over there.
Yeah.
So. And then I think that's pretty much trying to think of some of the other squads out there. Millington had a very successful season. Watching them early on at Standish Sterling Central, I said, it's gonna be up to Zach York and Ethan Brady on how far this team is gonna go. And well, they picked up a district title eventually, and
they did. Number 2 in the conference too, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, and they went. Well, guess what? They went out and took out Frankenmuth twice in the season. They swept them, which is just a victory in itself for the Millington community. So, I mean, that's very cool. And Ethan Brady, one of the one of the best players I've seen play all year long. That kid was at the top of the scoring sheet every night, and then when you saw him in person, he's just him and Zach were just two great players. And then you had finally had some of the supporting cast show up, and they show up at the right time.
Yes,
they were able to come out. Mason Wolfington,
that's what it's about, right?
Brayden
Showing
Henderson
up at the right
with
time.
That three-pointer at the buzzer that we'll all remember, especially because it's on Twitter now.
Yes.
But yeah, and I'm sure he'll always remember it. But
definitely so.
Just a fun season over there, and shout out to the North Branch as well. We don't see them much because they're in the BWAC now, but Riley Bug hit his 1,000-point.
Bug, Rutledge.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Brown City, another one down there that we don't see a lot of. Marlette had a rough season, but Sean Quady had another fantastic season. Alex Heisner.
Yep.
But Quady was a fun one to watch. That's now going to be done as well. So a lot of these names we're mentioning are seniors that are going to be gone. So a lot of opportunities for other players to step up and make a name for themselves as well. So I think that puts a cap on the boys' side of things as well. I don't know much else to really mention, but shout out to all the squads and district titles and regional titles and conference titles as well that were picked up all around the Thumb area. And already excited to see who's going to step up next year because this is a good crop of seniors that are going to be moving on out.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got a lot of juniors that are going to be should have a good junior that's going to be a senior class come next year. Should be really, really interesting and fun to watch.
I'm really excited to see Cody Talaski up in Bad X.
Oh yeah,
I forgot about Bad X. I got to talk to Coach Krug up there when they did the regional game, and I went up, shook his hand. I said, heck of a season, Coach. I'm like, you guys are gonna be fun to watch now for the next season. It's gonna. I think they're gonna make some noise in the Greater Thumb West.
They will.
They will.
They're gonna be
absolutely.
They might. Call me an early prediction. Call it a bold prediction early on, but I think that. Bad X might be the team to beat in the Greater Thumb West. I think they're going to be returning. They got Clancy coming back. They have Talaski coming back. I think they should be fun. But USA is like, hey, you watch yourself. We'll show you what's up. But, never count out USA, obviously.
Nope.
Real quick, run down wrestling. We got just a little bit to talk about wrestling here. Some state champions out there. As we did have Christopher Lilly from Croslex picking up a state championship, and also Mr. DJ Daniel says he finished his career 213-19, 155 pins, back-to-back state champ. I think he came in just underneath Win Mahalik as far as the record books for pins or wins, one of them. I think. I could be wrong on that. I think it's wins for a season. Something. He's in the record books. He's going to end up having his name in there. But just a great season, a great career for DJ Daniels. Over 200 wins, over 150 pins. Just a fun kid to watch. A great kid, too, if you talk to him. He's just a phenomenal athlete. And can't say much more about it.
Real quick, we were called out on Twitter on some of these. Harbor Beach's head coach, Coach Rubel over there.
Thank you, Coach Rubel.
And that was from a parent over here in Kingston. Teresa Rose also.
Kyle Moss. Thank you, Teresa.
Absolutely.
Yes. I didn't get to check it out. Yes. Thank you, Coach Rubel. Yes. Thank you, Brian Cloyd, on that one. I knew his name and I could think of it. But I just couldn't get it from my brain to my mouth.
Yep.
So, but a great Kyle Moust. He stepped up in a big way for them this year, and I'm excited to see what Keegan Bixman can do next year for USA. And should be fun to watch them. But
real quick, end of 3. Adrian Lenaway Christian leads 38-37 over St. Ignace.
Well, they might not hit my spread, but
may not. But from the sounds of it, it looks like St. Ignace is shooting just 31% right now from the floor. They're 2 of 15 from beyond the arc, and Lenawee Christian is 6 of 17 from beyond the arc. So,
wow.
Yeah, getting it done from beyond the arc, Lenawee is.
Absolutely. Elsewhere around the thumb, as far as placing goes, Ryan Wayner up in Bad X, finishing second in the state. I'm trying to think of some of the Jack Sherman over in Millington, 3rd in the state. Garrett Stoic here in Carroll, 8th. Hunter Norris, also a Millington. Is he Millington now? Hunter Norris? Is that a Millington kid?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
6th in the state. Logan Levine, Mayville kid, thank you. Third in the state. Josh Pasco of Brown City, sixth, and Cody Hartz of Sandusky, seventh. So there's your those were your state. Oh, Vincent Scaramunzio, who was my favorite name to say when I did my sports report. Vincent Scaramunzio, fourth in the state in D2. So there you go. Shout out to all those wrestlers who were able to show up at states, and some of them did show up, weren't able to make it to the podium, but. Still great careers and great years to be able to at least make it down to Ford Field and wrestle in front of the big time audience down there. So, all right, so we're done here.
We're done.
That's it. We're gonna be
end of 10 years.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know if I have it on here or not. Remember, I don't know if I think I actually lost it.
You can't lose it.
I lost it, man. I can't find my thing that I made. Remember at the start of the season?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. I was going to use it a lot this year, and it never worked out. But sorry, Bub. I don't know if he's listening. He says he did I tell you what he did to me the other night at the game?
No.
He took his stupid Michigan State hat off and rubbed it all over my arm and gave me the Spartan curse. And he kept standing in front of us and holding up the number 3 and pointing at the Spartan logo. I'm like, Bub, get out of the way. I don't want to see you right now.
Oh, wow.
So I went up to him afterwards and harassed him. And then he's like, "Where's anybody see my niece?" He was worried about Emily. I was like, "Yeah, she's over there somewhere." I just pointed at the floor. I'm like, "She's in the sea of people out there, Bub. Good luck." And but no, he was out at the game, at the quarterfinal game. Quarterfinal game. Came down with Adam and Tom.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you imagine that conversation? Tom and Bub are buds, though.
Oh yeah.
They're going out to dances. They're gonna pick up the ladies together.
Did Sandusky's finest make it to the Burt Bendel?
No, he did not find a ride, unfortunately. It did not work out. I was trying to help him out, but it did not work, and. We were on the air. At least they had that.
Should have gave him the keys to the Mix 92.1 van.
That thing even run?
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Okay.
They backed it into the spot back there. So.
Sorry. I was like, hold on a second.
No, it runs. Okay. I don't know how far it's going to run you to.
Yeah,
but, it runs. Fear not. It's still we're going to take that next year, Chris, actually. You're going to save on gas because we're going to be driving that van to
Perfect. Perfect.
We can load everybody up and go to Grand Rapids next year.
We'll load everyone up, all right. How far will we make it?
That thing always scared me. I'll tell you what, it scared me.
I remember the one year I rode down with Derek to the Beecher game. To the Millington Beecher game down at Burton Bendel, and we had to take a detour because they were working on Center, I believe it was, or something. Dixie, or not Door, I think. Anyways, we had to take a detour around, so we're cruising down the back roads of Burton. Derek has no idea where we're going. We're trying to get over to Davison to get food, and we're just like, I'm like, just keep going this way. Well, then we're going down potholes, and people are pulling up next to us, staring at us because we got this big Mix 92.1 sign on the side. And then I can't remember who pulled up next to us. Somebody did that we knew, and they were like looking over at us, and we're like, "Where are you going, Davis? We'll follow you. Just go." So then we just followed them the rest of the way. But that was an interesting ride down the back roads and the side streets of Burton, Michigan. It's an interesting location,
right?
But nonetheless, that is the season. Thank you to everybody out there for listening in, especially all 193 of you during the Kingston game online. Yeah. We had almost 200 listeners online. It was unreal when I kept checking it. It started off, it was like 30, 40, and then it would jump up to like 80, and then it was like 90, and then Chris goes, "Hey, check how many we have," and it was like 183. I'm like, holy cow. That was most we've had. I had 93 during the regional. That was my cap then, and we've beat it by 100 and some. So shout out to everybody out there for listening. Thank you for
real quick. I did an interview with a couple girls after the semifinal game, kind of off to the side, and one of those being Jillian Dinsmore. And one of the questions I asked is, what would you have to say for those underclassmen that are coming up? And one of her quote to me was, "Play hard, work hard, because before you know it, your senior season's over." Mm-hmm. So for you juniors, you sophomores, it comes quick and it ends quick. So put the work in, play the game hard, play it hard every single night, every single game. That's exactly what they told me. Cam was one of the other ones that I interviewed. Just playing hard and working hard every single practice and every single game as if it's going to be your last game, because you never know when it's going to end. So.
Exactly.
Shout out to our unsung hero, too, Luke. Luke's out there. Luke is, moving on. There's Luke. If you guys, I don't know if any cameras are on him right now, but that's Luke.
There he is. He's waving now.
He's doing the behind the scenes stuff to make sure that we get on the air and on YouTube and does a great job. And Luke's leaving us.
Bye, Luke.
No.
Yeah.
Poke me in the eye so I start crying, Christian. What do you think?
Ouch. Gotta force yourself.
Sorry,
to cry.
Luke.
No, but
thanks a lot.
His replacement is easier to look at. Luke, no offense to you. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. He went there.
Hey, come on. You guys wouldn't want to see
We were all thinking it.
I mean, look at me, and you'd probably want a prettier face to look at on there. That's why I'm on radio. I don't belong on film. But great job, man. All season long, this kid can scale bleachers better than anybody I've ever seen.
Sure can.
Over in Marlette, he was hiking up to the top of the bleachers. I was like, how's he gonna get up there? He's got the bag, and he just throws it up there. And he just jumps up there and just scaling up. And I was like, Luke's gonna end up in the rafters here soon.
Right.
If he goes up any further.
We're gonna have some good eagle eye footage here before long.
Are you guys still gonna do games, or that's the plan?
Cool.
Awesome. I know people love it. I get told about it, how cool it was, the addition of this, and we love it. We obviously appreciate it so much to Majestic Sky Link and Luke and who's the new one? What's her name?
Angela.
Thank you. She's probably listening. She's probably like, yeah, thanks. Angela, yes, who sings to us. She was singing before the show. So
that was awesome.
That'll
I have some company now.
You guys can do the Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga
there
duet.
We go.
We'll film that and put it on the air. But we're going to pick things back up. Like I said, the All-Star game coming up in June. I know we're going to be broadcasting it. So that'll be coming up in June. It's not the last Friday in June. They're not doing it during the Thumb Fest this year. They're doing it at the Friday before. Which is going to be
22nd,
really?
Was it?
Yes, 22nd. So they're going to be doing that Friday night. Boys and girls, seniors only are allowed because MHSA rules.
22nd?
I don't
Why
like that.
so early?
I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what the reasoning behind it was.
22nd or 21st? 21st is the Friday.
21st. Thank you.
Sorry.
21st is when it's going to be this year. Seniors only. Some of the teams have been thrown around. Some of the ads. I actually have a rough draft of the teams, but they'll probably change because kids are busy, open houses, all that good stuff. But come on out. It's a lot of fun. Sandusky High School. You won't regret it. But if you can't get out there, listen on in. I don't know if you guys are going to be filming it. We'll have to get with you guys and talk about it. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people there, and great exposure for some of the kids out there. I mean, some of them you don't get to see some of these kids throughout the season, and you get a chance to see them in the All-Star game. It's a lot of fun. The slam dunk, 3-point shootout, and then the games, boys and girls games.
Why don't we have a media slam dunk contest with trampolines?
Because we're fat and old.
I said with trampolines. Did you hear that? I said with trampolines.
We're still fat and old.
There's a couple of us I'd like to see try to do that. Not going to mention any names from the Northern Thumb.
I want to see Mike and Paul in a slam dunk contest this year. I'm calling you guys out. But we're going to be picking it back up then. And like I said, softball, baseball, there's a possibility you'll see us back then, or at least hear us on the air. So stay tuned at Let's Talk Sports 3. No athletes of the week, obviously, but thank you to Grazzo Graphics, all season long for the sponsorship of that and the T-shirts. And
been awesome.
Yes, absolutely. And the kids are loving them. Also, Larson Graphics over in Vassar. They hooked us up with some shirts this year, these jackets. They done great as well, so shout out to them, and couldn't do without the help of the Thumb area, and especially you guys out there. So thank you to be tuning in every single Saturday morning right here with us. Thank you, tune in for the games of the week, and everyone keeps thanking us for what we do, and it's like,
thank us.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you to the kids. Thank you to the parents. Thank you to everybody that are listening in. So I'm going to shut up. 12:15, folks. Tune in the MHSA Division 1 game.
I believe, yeah.
Is going to be coming up.
Yep.
We're going to be broadcasting that game, and then after that, there's going to be a little bit of a break. We'll get the music, and then we'll pick it back up, and it'll be the Division 3 game. Yes, and 2 ends it.
With Flint Hammond.
And while you're listening, you can also turn on the television show. Hopefully, it's going to be broadcast. We're hoping on ESPN. Raina playing in the tournament. Yeah, 1 o'clock against MSU. So
and then go blue as well.
Yeah.
Can't forget
Always.
that. Against those stupid Gators. I'm so sick of seeing them in any kind of sport. We play them in everything.
It's just weird the way we always play them.
I know. Go blue. Go blue, baby. Got like a gallon of coffee here to keep me going. So, all right, folks, we are out of here. Chris, thank you as always for, I don't want to say right-hand man because that sounds weird, but
I'll be your left-hand man then. All right, perfect. There we go.
Weirder,
all right, even weirder. You don't have those nowadays.
Color commentary guy, and also the driver everywhere we go, man. It's been awesome. Christian, thanks for rolling out of bed on Saturday mornings.
Darn right, I love it.
I know you had a busy night last night.
It was a fun night last night.
You had meetings last night.
Got to see all the basketball games.
Got to drink some milk. of a dragon variety.
Yes.
That poison, it's not good for you.
Oh, yes it is.
I know. Anyways.
It's good for your heart.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe not so much the other organs, but it is what it is. All right, folks. Have a good rest of your Saturday. Have a great spring sports season. Good luck to all the teams out there. Meet of Champs coming up here.
Yes.
About 2 months or so.
Mm-hmm. Day after Memorial Day.
I was thinking about broadcasting it. It'd be a lot of
talking, idle talk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It'd be fun.
You can do it if you got athlete interviews. Come on up.
Yeah. Hey, you just ran how many miles? Why don't you run up to the top of the bleachers here in Caro and do an interview? Man, you sound like you're out of breath. What's going on? All right. So with that being said, we are out of here. We're going to get back into music, and at 12:15, we'll pick it back up with Division 2 finals right here, and then after that, we'll get into Division 3. Per the MHSA affiliation that we have, we do have to run these games. So stick around for that, and we'll get into commercials right now. We'll come back, and we'll talk to you a couple months here. It is Let's Talk Sports, Classic Rock I-92. We'll see ya.